I hope that you're having a very delightful day in what God has provided for us in the day. Not only the opportunity to get together and worship, but He's provided us the rain that we need, a change of pace and the like. Things for us to be thankful for. And today I'd like to talk, as all of us, I guess, look forward to, at least I do, and with a great deal of excitement, of Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving Day. And I love all the things that are involved in it. I love turkey. I love mashed potatoes and gravy, and I like all that food. But I enjoy the family fellowship that we have and what we do in Thanksgiving. When we think about it, it is, and what I want to talk about is the ability to share thanks. And I've sort of entitled it Sharing Thanks because the Apostle Paul, in writing to the church at Ephesus, makes this statement. And I'm going to use one verse today out of this and expand from that, but there's a reason for that. And I'll explain that in just a moment. So in Ephesians 5 and verse 20, here's what Paul says to the church. Always giving thanks to God, the Father, for everything in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. So we're going to take this one verse and think about it, its application in our lives, in the world in which we live, and the things that we give thanks for. So we want to ask, the question is, how important is it for you to share thanks? Not just giving thanks, but sharing thanks. To kind of give you an idea of this, my wife was reading an email that our daughter had gotten from her new landlord that she has. And at the end of the message from the landlord, it said, I am so delighted to have you as a tenant. And then it had all these emoticons. Now, she could have just said thanks and left it there. But that was a note to our daughter. And it impacted us because of how this person was being so accepting that our daughter's renting her property and has this a little bit of a relationship with her in the sense that she rented the same property from this person 8 years ago. And now she's returning, but it's all updated and improved. And so you think, wow. Oh, by the way, she's a teacher that she had in school. So, and, oh, by the way, she's moving back to near the coast where it feels like at home. I say all those things because recently I've been counseling a lot of people with depression. And when we think about depression and in a world in which we live, that for most of us, a lot of the times, if we just left it to itself, is a discouraging world. It's discouraging not only for us, but even when we're encouraged, there are others who are discouraged and whose lives are miserable. Right now, at this very moment, they're fighting in Mosul. People are being killed. People are being terrorized. There's all kinds of things going on there. Right now, in Syria, Aleppo is being bombed. And people are dying. And dictators are having their way. Right now, in New York City, and in Los Angeles, and in Detroit, and in Chicago, people are being murdered. And there are people who live in ghettos. And life is miserable. So there's a lot of things going on. But right now, there's also a God in heaven. There's a Jesus who's worthy of all praise and honor, and for which we give thanks and we appreciate. So it's important for us to understand that our thanks is impacted in several ways. So let me get back for a moment to the point on depression that I want to, and how that ties in with Thanksgiving. Oftentimes, people will do something, and they do it for, or they only understand one reason for doing it. In fact, I asked somebody the other day, well, what are you doing this for? And they said, fun. And I said, what other reasons? Or I asked them, what other reasons do you have for doing that? I don't have any other reasons. And then we went on to enumerate at least 12 other reasons why you would do that. Because you see, sometimes life is not fun. And that is not the reason in and of itself to do something just for that reason. But there are a multiplicity of reasons to do that. And so when we think about Thanksgiving, for example, Thanksgiving Day, is there only one reason to enjoy Thanksgiving? That is, well, I like turkey and I like dressing. Oh, by the way, the turkey and dressing and tryptophan make me feel good. But it makes other people feel good. And I also like the fellowship. I also like the smell. Do you realize how smell impacts how you feel and your mood and attitude? Just changes. Really? Cooking, turkey, pie, and all of that. Oh, I also like the laughter of our kids, and I like playing games. I like our friends who are coming over for Thanksgiving as well and sharing stories and doing those things. I like that. I also like football games on Thanksgiving Day. I also like being in a thankful attitude. Do you realize how being thankful changes your whole mood and attitude? Oh, I also like, and here's the point about the one verse and what we're going to focus in on today in terms of one. That is God. God, I've been talking about being one in God. God is one. And so when we think about sharing thanks, I think it's important for us to be able not just to be thankful ourselves, but be able to share thanks. As well, with whom do we share thanks? That's a question for us. And what are we to be thankful for? And how often might we be thankful? And what is our source of thankfulness? And who do we give thanks? And this is kind of the difficult one. Are we only thankful for the, quote, good things? What about the bad things? Things that hurt, things that are painful. Can we also be thankful, or do we need to be thankful for any of those things? Well, again, as I mentioned, this week we're celebrating and observing a national holiday, Thanksgiving. It's called Thanksgiving Day, but the question is Thanksgiving a one-day affair? Is that it? Come Thursday morning, Thursday evening, and then it's all over. We have to also think about the very first Thanksgiving. When we think about the very first Thanksgiving Day, it was born out of hardship. It was born out of hurt. It was born out of pain. It was born out of hunger. Really difficult. It was born out of the lack of freedom. They had to worship. But on that, and as well, they shared it with one another, and they shared it with Indians, and they had all kinds of different, foods that were made available, each one contributing their part. So when we think about being thankful for what has been provided, and what is the object of our thankfulness? And when we think about the object of our thankfulness, the importance of being thankful to and for. We're thankful to whom? For what? That's the question. Now, for the pilgrims, they made no bones about it, that they were thankful to God for the food that they had, for their lives, for the safety, for the peace that they were enjoying, and the provision that was provided for them. So I think if we were to ask the original pilgrims what they were thankful for, there'd be a lot of things that they were thankful for. They had hope for the future.
Feeling the blues today, or tired of life already? Do you have questions about life, or need spiritual advice? The Worldwide Church of God is located in Fairfield, Santa Rosa, and Modesto, California. We welcome everyone to attend our worship services with us every week at the times listed on your screen.